now what you are going to do, excuse me, is you are going to solve this like a regular 3x3. If you do not know how to do that, please do watch my tutorial on how to solve a 3x3. Right now, I'm just going to solve it all by myself until I get up to the parities, if I get them. If I don't get them, I'll show you, I won't show you how to get them, but I will make them on purpose and show you how to solve them. I'm going to go ahead and solve this 4x4 like a 3x3, imagining that these four centers are, let's find the orange side, one center, and these two edges are one edge, like on a 3x3. So when I get to the parities, I'll show you how to do them, unless I don't get them, in which case I will make them and then show you how to do them. So here we go. Okay, here is one of the algorithms, parities. The parity is that you have two corners oriented correctly or in the right positions, if not solved like this one is. So this one is in the right position, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red, blue, and as is this one is also solved, but they are not necessarily always like that. Now, these two need to be swapped. These are not in the right position. Sometimes you will have it where the two corners that are oriented correctly are opposite instead of adjacent. In that case, you just do the algorithm to orient the corners normally, and that's yeah, that's I have to think about this too. This is muscle memory. U R U I L I U R I U I L, and so now my two corners that are oriented correctly are this one, and they're adjacent, and I need to get them so that they are adjacent. I just said opposite, or I said adjacent and I meant opposite, so I need to get these two adjacent. So what I would do in this situation is I would pick either of the correctly oriented ones and put it on my right, as you would normally if these three corners were unsolved or unoriented. And then I just do the algorithm until two corners are oriented right next to each other correctly. And now see, this one is oriented and this one is oriented, but neither of them are solved. That's another of the situations you're gonna have. So here is the algorithm to get out of this. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to put the unoriented corners facing you, and then do this algorithm. 2R, that's outside. For the corners, everything is going to be outside. You're not going to touch the inner layers. 2R, 2B, 2U, L, 2U, RI, yes, that is RI, 2U, R, 2U, 2F, R, 2F, LI, 2B, 2R. And now all your corners are positioned, oh yes, all your corners are positioned correctly. Sometimes none of them or just one of them will be positioned correctly, in which case you would do this thing. But since since all of mine are positioned correctly, I'm not going to do that. What you may notice, however, is that these two edges and these two edges are correctly aligned. The two opposite edges are correctly aligned, but the other two edges are not correctly aligned. This is another one of the parities that you may have with or without doing what the algorithm we just did. In this case, you are going to do this algorithm. 2UU, 2LL, 2 big U, 2 little l, 2 big U, or I should say uppercase, 2LL, 2UU. And now you notice all of the edges are correctly aligned, and that didn't mess with the corners. Sometimes it does, but it doesn't recreate the parity. But this time it didn't. So now I'm just going to solve the corners as I normally would. Actually, no I'm not. To make things easier, I'm just going to twist them in position. My cube is loose enough that I can do this, but not too loose. And here is the algorithm you just did. If you were to get this case, ignore the corners. Before you had solved the corners, or before you had gotten the corner parity, you would do the same algorithm we just did, which is 2UU, 2LL, 2 big U, 2 little l, 2 big U, 2LL, 2U. And that would have solved all the... Alright, here is the last parity you may find yourself having. When I was trying to create this, I kind of messed up the cube, so I had to resolve it. So I've got a different color scheme slightly than what I had before. Also on the corners, I just twisted the corners a little bit so that it would look like what it normally would when you get this parity. Well, yeah. Anyways, when you get this parity, you do exactly the same thing as you did for the two incorrect corners, except that when you do either R or 2R or RI or 2RI, or no, you'll never get a 2RI because it's the same thing as 2R. So when you get either an R or an RRI, darn it, when you get either an RRI, an RR, or a 2R, or an LLI, a 2L, or 2L, or an LL, yeah, instead of doing just the single on the left or right sides, you'll do both of them. You will not do the same thing for the back, the fronts, or the back, the top, or the fronts. You will leave those as you did in the corner solving. But when you use either the right or the left side, you'll grip both of them and turn them. So to solve this situation, you are going to do 2RR, 2B, 2U, LLI, 2U, RRI, 2U, RR, 2U, 2F, RR, 2F, LL, 2B, 2R. And that has solved it. And I believe after this you will also need to do this one, where it switches two opposite sides of the cross, but I'm not totally sure. Otherwise, that's it. Whoops. I kind of messed up my corners into a parity by accident, so I'm solving that right now. That's, I guess I'll reinforce this. This is 2R, 2B, 2U, L, 2U, RI, 2U, R, 2U, 2F, R, 2F, LI, no, L, 2B, 2R. And then I'm just going to twist my corners back into place. Darn it. I just split one of my pieces in half, or into its two halves. Okay, I'm going to continue splitting them, or switching them. And then again, for reinforcements, to switch two opposite edges, 2 UU, 2 LL, 2 big U, 2 little L, 2 big U, 2 LL, 2 U.